Right then, we are back now with another Stormbringer delivery. So let's just dive right in, shall we? Today, we are setting off with issue number 43. Now, one thing that I did get with this issue, just before I go into it with this delivery, is just another binder as part of the subscription. So if you are actually getting the binders, you'll probably find by this point your binders are you like chocker at the moment. So I'm glad that's come along when it did. I think they just give you them in just in time, which isn't great. You probably could have done that a few issues ago. Okay then. So issue number 43. Now, I've been really waiting for this one, partly because the models in it look really lovely. You can tell, coming up to them, they were going to be really good models. So, there's just something about those Sylvaneth. They're really cool, aren't they? The aesthetic is just, I just like it. I can't put it any other way. I love the aesthetic of the Sylvaneth. So, it feels quite heavy issue, this one, and you've got the Tree Reverence. Now, as I understand it, the Tree Reverence are rank and file troops, so if you've managed to find a couple of extra copies, then you've got some extra rank and file troops for your battles if you're going to go with Sylvaneth as an army. Anyway, so what we've got in issue 43, so we're going to get 5 of these Tree Reverence. Again, it's following that aesthetic of kind of like, well, trees possessed by elves. I think that's how you say it, elves, or I don't know how you say that A and E. I'm assuming that it's kind of like the old English word that, like ale, along those lines. So I think that's how you say it, to be quite honest. To put it as simply as possible, I get enough from the lore to feel that they are basically the wood elves from the old world who got wiped out by the end times, whose then spirits have been drawn to protect the forests. So that's the kind of what I've gathered so far from the lore. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I've not read enough into it. Okay, so we've got a little bit of info on the Age of Myth and then the Age of Chaos, leading to the Age of Sigmar and then the Era of the Beast. So, good little bit of lore on that. Now, a new section by the look of it called Perils, and this one is on the Perils of Chaos. So, again, it looks like we've got, a couple of good pieces of lore here. Oh, that's cool. A really old style piece of artwork. Now, gosh, that is actually quite an interesting piece. You've got the like a really old school looking bloodthirster facing off against Karl Franz on his griffin. Yeah, it's actually quite interesting. Yeah, that is actually a quite interesting bit of lore there, because it definitely seems to be very grounded in the old world. Now, that's quite interesting in a sense that I think literally they've just released, I think I might be right about this, they've just released a load of miniatures from Warhammer the Old World. Apparently they've gone out of stock instantly, which does not surprise me. It was a popular game when it was going, and Total War Warhammer is very popular, so it just makes sense that if they've re-released the game and re-released the models, probably just gone dry completely. Anyway, so that's quite interesting. I'm going to have a good read through that. But it does seem like we get a nice little glimpse into the world that was. So moving on from there, of course, we get a bit of information about Tree Reverence and what they're all about, quite simply. How to build. Now, again, the Tree Reverence, as far as I can see, you've got quite a few weapon options, which again is a good thing. You've got, look, I'm looking here, you've got head and weapon options, hopefully. I'm going to have a good look at that in a second. There's definitely weapon options. So again, if you've got more of these models, you could potentially make a larger squad with, or multiple squads. So, you know, that's a positive thing. Let's see what else we've got here. And they've got the ability to build a Waypiper, Banner Bearer, and Scion. Okay, so again, that's quite good. I'll have to again have a good look at the sprue to see what options we've got as we go along. What else do we have here? Of course, the obligatory how to paint. I've personally decided that I really want to try and head towards a summer theme for my Tree Reverence. So that's going to be quite a thought process about how I'm going to achieve that. It's common to do things like winter and autumn themes because it kind of suits well with the bare branches of them. But I like the idea of trying a spring summer theme of it rather than them being dead. They're actually coming to life. So that'll be something that I really want to try out. Okay, we have Warscroll tutorials, Realm Scout. So let's have a look. Oh, Doridin Merchantism. That's interesting. So Battle Plan 3. It's kind of like an interesting little preamble talking about Doridin mechanisms. So yeah, it looks like they've effectively seen some dwarven machinery that they want to grab hold of and study. So that's interesting, and it uses the battle map with the 2 crash ships that are printed on it. Okay, so there we go. That's actually quite an interesting issue. It covers quite a lot of ground, and then it gives you what you need to build and paint, as we always would expect by this point. So let's have a good look at the actual miniatures, because when a miniature has a bit of options, I like to see how far that goes. So it's probably not easy to see, but you can see the, hopefully around about here, there's quite a lot of arms. So there's a lot of arms. Now when I see something like this, where particularly with these arms over here, where the fingers appear elongated, a lot longer, and they seem to replace the sword and axe arms. So that suggests to me here that these are a different type of Tree Reverend. Now that does happen quite often with Games Workshop's miniatures. They will frequently allow you to build 2 unit types. So you'll have the Tree Reverence and potentially something else. So I'm going to look up if these elongated fingers basically give us a different unit, which would be quite cool if it did. Head options, I'm just looking through now. I think the major head option things are really about the, to be honest, I'm looking at the lots of different heads, but for the most part, I think I'm probably going to say you can use different hair on different heads, so that gives you a few more customization options. We'll find out in more detail when I do the actual build, won't we? I'm noticing as well that for a pack of 5, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bodies that I can see. So again, one of those bodies is potentially in a different pose. So okay, that's definitely something that we're going to look at when I actually go into the build video. But there we go, so that's what we've got on issue number 43. It's got some good lore in there, and it's got a good set of miniatures to go on. But the miniatures look like they can be built two ways. Now what I did do is I kind of went away and got myself an extra sprue of these, just so that I could try and build them in a separate way. So you might see me doing two build videos of these, one with the issue I got from Stormbringer and another one that I picked up off eBay. So, you know, we'll go from there and see what happens. Anyway, that's issue number 43 all looked at. I'm happy with it. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you for issue number 44.